You never know how quickly they're going to adapt to the WNBA game coming from college. And I think that Caitlin has done surprisingly well, how quickly she's adapted to this game.
What really goes on in the mind of Caitlin Clark when she thinks about Lisa Bluder, the coach who guided her through a record-breaking college career and helped her emerge as a WNBA phenom? It's no secret that Clark's freshman season was sensational, but there's so much more to her story, especially her relationship with Bluder. Known for her structured coaching style, Bluder became the steady mentor to Clark's freestyle, fearless play. But what does Clark really think about Bluder, now that she could potentially be Clark's coach again?
The reason we were as good as we were, we weren't always the most talented group. We had great players, but it was because of that bond that we shared with one another. And, obviously Coach Bluder, in my eyes, she's the best leader I've ever been around in my life. She knows how to build a team. She knows how to get individuals to work together.
In a candid moment, Clark opened up about her true feelings towards Coach Lisa Bluder, and her words left everyone stunned. The story that unfolds is filled with loyalty, mutual respect, and lessons that continue to guide Clark as she makes her mark on the WNBA. Let's dive into this one-of-a-kind partnership and find out what made it so special. In this video, we'll explore Lisa Bluder's candidacy to be the next Fever head coach, what her true feelings are of Caitlin Clark, and finally reveal what Caitlin Clark really thinks about Coach Lisa Bluder. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
There's a lot of doubters out there, as we all know, and she has proved them all wrong.
The WNBA coaching landscape is spinning, and the Indiana Fever have added their name to the mix of teams in search of new leadership. On October 27, 2024, the Fever announced the departure of head coach Christy Sides, ending her two-season run with a 33-win, 47-loss record. Team president Kelly Krauskopf praised Sides for her efforts, highlighting her ability to foster energy on the court. However, a deeper issue lay behind the decision.
The Indiana Fever, they have fired everybody. Everybody. Their president, their general manager, and now their head coach, Christy Sides, gets bounced after just 2 seasons.
Enter Caitlin Clark, a transformative talent whose arrival has heightened expectations for the Fever. Coaching Clark, with her superstar potential, is a demanding task requiring not just basketball knowledge, but also adeptness at managing media attention, team dynamics, and the weight of fan expectations. The Fever's front office overhaul, with Krauskopf's return and Amber Cox as general manager, signals an intent to build not just a playoff team, but a true championship contender. This move reflects the Fever's ambition. With Clark's entry, the Fever are primed for a transformation, but a leader capable of cultivating young talent and implementing a game plan that capitalizes on the skills of players like Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull is essential.
So the WNBA is recognizing they're at an inflection point, and they're trying to level up, it seems like, with all of their staff, and it certainly seems to be going on with the Indiana Fever, that, hey, they got a great opportunity to level up here in terms of president, general manager, and head coach, and they're taking that opportunity.
For the Fever, the stakes are high. They seek a coach who can navigate the challenges of a high-profile roster while fostering growth and preparing the team for a leap to championship contention. As they search for the right fit, the Indiana Fever's next move could very well define the trajectory of Clark's promising WNBA career.
While decisions like this are never easy, it's also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in our pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to the great state, I'm putting that in because it is a great state, of Indiana. Coach Sides was an incredible representative of the Fever in our community, and we wish her nothing but success in the future. This is new Fever president of basketball operations.
What if the coach the Fever are seeking is a familiar face for their once-in-a-generation talent? Caitlin Clark's journey to Iowa began with an explosive play style, brimming with potential and fierce confidence that she's been known for since high school. Before stepping foot on campus, she was known for her deep three-pointers and unpredictable drives, making waves as one of the top recruits in the country. For Clark, basketball wasn't just about following plays, but creating magic with each touch. However, upon her arrival at Iowa, she met Coach Lisa Bluder, whose coaching style stood in stark contrast to the free-flowing approach Clark was accustomed to. Bluder's coaching methodology was one of structure, strategy, and disciplined execution. Over her career, she had perfected a system that thrived on organization and teamwork, leading Iowa through some of its best seasons. This clash in styles between a high-energy, improvisational recruit and a seasoned, system-oriented coach could have spelled trouble. But as they say, opposites attract. And in this case, it would soon lead to one of the most impactful partnerships in women's basketball.
Truly, Caitlin has a different set of rules because she's a special player and she has different talents than most people have as far as her shooting range.
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
When, a couple years ago when she was a freshman, I probably lost a little bit of hair pulling my hair out at times.
In the early days, the friction was palpable. Clark's instinctive, fearless style clashed with the established plays and structures that Bluder held as foundational. Teammates and coaches could see the disconnect, where Clark's dynamic, shoot-from-anywhere style seemed at odds with the team's structured offensive schemes. At times, it felt like watching two basketball worlds trying to coexist, and Clark's ability to adapt, or Bluder's willingness to change, would determine their future success. Instead of demanding Clark change overnight, Bluder saw an opportunity. She recognized that Clark's raw potential and relentless drive were assets that could propel the team to new heights if harnessed effectively. So, Bluder gradually began to adjust her coaching style. She allowed Clark more creative freedom on the court, giving her the space to play her unique game within a team framework. The process wasn't immediate, but over time, they started to find a balance where each play benefited from both Clark's flair and Bluder's structure.
I couldn't be more happy for her. I mean, I probably took a couple years off of her career for having to coach me before.
This balance soon became a turning point for the duo. Clark gained confidence knowing that Bluder respected her instincts, while Bluder learned to trust Clark's on-court decisions. Through compromise and understanding, they began to thrive. This foundation of mutual respect and adaptability would soon pave the way for their record-shattering seasons. Clark's growth as a player, coupled with Bluder's openness to change, marked the beginning of one of the most celebrated player-coach bonds in women's basketball. As Caitlin Clark's freshman season unfolded, it became clear that her partnership with Coach Bluder was developing into something exceptional. The early friction they experienced was merely the groundwork for a connection that would empower both of them to evolve in unexpected ways. The turning point arrived mid-season, during a high-stakes game where Iowa found itself down double digits and the clock ticking. Bluder knew the game plan wasn't working, so she made a bold choice. She told Clark, "Play your game. We'll adjust around you."
Who would have thought that all those years ago back in Des Moines, Iowa, that this would be the case right now? We knew what we had in Caitlin back in Iowa City, and we knew the attention that she was bringing around the Big Ten and in collegiate basketball. But I didn't know how that was going to transcend into the WNBA, and obviously we can see that it's done pretty darn well, and people are excited to see her play at every level.
For a coach as seasoned as Bluder, this was a significant leap of faith. A moment that redefined their relationship. It was no longer about Bluder teaching Clark to fit into a system, but adapting that system to unleash Clark's full potential. Clark, in turn, rose to the occasion with a new fire, scoring from deep and setting up plays that energized her teammates. Her breakout performance that night wasn't just about stats. It was a statement of the trust Bluder had placed in her. The gamble paid off tenfold. Iowa's comeback win wasn't only a pivotal game, but a symbol of their deepening trust and respect. This shared breakthrough ignited a spark in Clark, who now saw herself as more than a scorer. She became a leader, responsible not only for her own game but for setting up her teammates for success. It wasn't long before Clark's assists per game rose alongside her points, and Iowa's chemistry on the court became palpable.
When she came in as a freshman and she said, "We're going to the Final Four," and a lot of people laughed at her and maybe even laughed at her for coming to Iowa, quite honestly. But she believed, we believed, and she got everybody else in that locker room to believe, and that is not an easy thing to do. So her just belief in everybody around her, it just grew and grew.
Over time, Bluder's trust in Clark empowered her to make bolder moves, and Clark's playstyle evolved. The rookie who once took wild, deep shots became a calculating force, leveraging her scoring ability to open up opportunities for the whole team. In return, Bluder began to design plays that highlighted Clark's vision, turning her into the focal point of Iowa's strategy. This synergy was rare, and soon, Bluder's system wasn't simply adapting to Clark. It became something unique, a hybrid approach that allowed for Clark's creativity within a cohesive team dynamic. Their mutual growth and evolving trust transformed Iowa from a team of talent into a powerhouse with championship potential. For fans and analysts, it was clear that what Bluder and Clark were building was more than a team. It was a masterclass in leadership, trust, and the transformative power of believing in each other.
Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of you. And I try to remind our team of that all the time. We're gonna enjoy that light and it helps all of us.
As Caitlin Clark's journey with Lisa Bluder reached new heights, it was clear that this dynamic duo wasn't just pushing limits, they were redefining them entirely. Under Bluder's mentorship, Clark began breaking records that had stood unchallenged for decades, and each game brought new surprises. Clark's performance transcended mere numbers. It was a statement. She was proof that women's basketball could capture the hearts and minds of fans nationwide, attracting massive crowds and record-breaking viewership. The impact of this extraordinary player-coach partnership was felt far beyond Iowa. The national conversation around women's sports shifted as Clark's name dominated headlines, drawing comparisons to NBA-level greatness. Game after game, she set new records, culminating in her surpassing Pete Maravich's legendary college scoring record with an astounding 3,951 points. And it wasn't just her shooting. Bluder's guidance had transformed Clark into a versatile playmaker, helping her average over 8 assists per game. Clark didn't just set records, she raised the standard of what could be achieved on a college basketball court.
But she also believed I would be here, and she coached me really hard to get to this moment. There was a lot of ups and downs, and something I really appreciate about Coach Bluder is like, no matter what awards or success or wins we ever had or I had, is like she never stopped coaching me. She never stopped holding me accountable. She always thought there was ways for me to get better. I know she still thinks that, and I still think that, and that's one of the things I just love about her is like, first of all, she believed I would be here from the day I committed to her, even before that when I was in 8th grade, but also she pushed me really hard to make me as good as I am.
When she transitioned to the WNBA, many questioned whether she could maintain this level of dominance. But Clark didn't just prove her critics wrong. She exploded onto the pro scene, becoming a freshman phenom. By the end of her first WNBA season, she had shattered 62 records, a remarkable feat that demonstrated her adaptability and skill. Bluder's influence remained evident in her play, with Clark's court vision and decision-making reflecting the lessons learned from her college days. Unlike some other players who seem to thrive on attention, Clark's approach has always been about pure dedication. She lets her work ethic and game speak louder than any words. Her hard work, humility, and focus on team success have become hallmarks of her career. While others may crave the spotlight, Clark has earned it through relentless improvement and unselfish play. Through Clark's record-breaking journey, Bluder's mentorship was the constant force shaping her into a superstar. Together, they broke not just records but also the conventional boundaries of women's basketball, setting the stage for an even brighter future.
I think Coach Bluder kind of just has always preached throughout my career is like, first of all, be where your feet are. Don't ever let any moment slip you by. This life that I get to live, I'm very grateful for. No matter the highs and lows, there's so many people that would really want to be in my shoes or be in any of us shoes as athletes. So I think just being grateful for it. But also like pressure is a privilege. I know there's a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and I'm very grateful for that. And I think it's something you can rise to the occasion and just embrace. So I would probably say those two things.
As Caitlin Clark reflects on her journey, she's quick to credit Lisa Bluder for shaping her career. And beyond that, her character. For Clark, Bluder wasn't just a coach, but a life mentor, instilling in her values of discipline, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to growth. Bluder's guidance taught Clark how to see the game not just as a series of plays, but as an arena to showcase her leadership, elevate her teammates, and push the boundaries of women's basketball. Bluder's teachings extended far beyond the technical aspects of the game. She emphasized the importance of supporting others, celebrating teamwork, and staying true to one's core values, even in the face of challenges. Clark's own reflections on Bluder reveal a deep respect for these lessons. She often shares how Bluder's belief in her, especially during difficult times, gave her the confidence to overcome obstacles on and off the court. As Clark recalls these moments, it's clear that her journey is as much a tribute to her coach as it is her own triumph. When Bluder announced her retirement, Clark's public tribute was a heartfelt testament to their bond. In her message, Clark expressed gratitude, calling Bluder "my retired queen," and reflecting on the life lessons that went beyond basketball. She spoke of Bluder's dedication, how she believed in her potential from the start, and how that unwavering support shaped her. Clark's heartfelt words showed that Bluder's influence transcended the game itself, impacting her outlook and inspiring her to give back to the sport and the community.
That's so cute. Thanks, Coach. You're the best. So cute.
Now here is the interesting twist. With the Indiana Fever looking for a new head coach, will Lisa Bluder come out of retirement? Will she lead Caitlin Clark to her first championship? Fans are definitely waiting with bated breath for who will next take the reins. Caitlin Clark's journey with Lisa Bluder may have started on a basketball court, but it's become a story much larger than that. Bluder's mentorship didn't just mold Clark's skills, it shaped her into a player and person ready to lead, inspire, and make an impact on and off the court. Clark's reflections show the enduring value of Bluder's guidance, proving that the right mentor can change the course of a player's life and career. Do you think Coach Lisa should come out of retirement to guide the Indiana Fever? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.